Hello and welcome to Grasmere in the Lake District. I've come here today to have a little wander around the village and walk down to Rydal Water. A lovely little walk right in the heart of the Lake District. So join me as we explore Grasmere together. So lovely little playing field in the centre of Grasmere. And Grasmere is surrounded on all sides by the Lake District fells. The village itself is famous for its Wordsworth connections. William Wordsworth is actually buried in the church graveyard, so we'll go and have a look at his grave in just a moment. So the population of Grasmere is about 500 permanent residents, but there are many more visitors who come here. It's a very popular location in the Lake District. So this is where they make the famous Grasmere gingerbread, very popular. If you've never had it, I do recommend it. It's quite different to normal gingerbread, but really lovely. So we're in the church grounds of St Oswald's Church, and here we have the grave of William Wordsworth. And he's buried next to his sister Dorothy Wordsworth there, and other members of the family. A very simple, plain gravestone for such a famous poet. So this is St Oswald's Church in Grasmere, and it's quite an unusual building inside, because you've got this wall that separates the two halves of the church. And I think the reason for that is because one side of the church was for the villagers here in Grasmere, and another side was for the parishioners who lived up the valley. I just love how clear and clean this river is that runs through Grasmere. Dove Cottage, the home of William Wordsworth here in Grasmere. He lived here with his sister from 1799 to 1808. So I'm now going to make my way to Rydal, which is just down the valley, and I'm going to take the Coffin Route, which is the old route that linked the villages in this valley and the routes that they would take the coffins along, hence the name. So the forecast said there would be potentially some rain later this afternoon, but at the moment it's nice and dry and also actually quite warm, so I'm ending up carrying my coat with me, which is a bit of a nuisance. I certainly don't need it at the moment. A nice spot for a bench with a lovely view down to Grasmere. I love May. It's my favourite month of the year. Everything is so fresh and green and beautiful. Here we have a nice view down to Rydal Water. Just climb this little hill and it gives you beautiful views in all directions. That's looking down to Grasmere, and if I pan round, there we have Rydal water. So here we are in Rydal, and this is Rydal Mount, which is also the former home of William Wordsworth. In fact, William Wordsworth spent more years living at Rydal Mount than he did at Dove Cottage, but Dove Cottage is the one that is better known and the one that the visitors go to. But arguably his most famous poem of all, Daffodils, was actually written here whilst he was living in Rydal Mount, not in Dove Cottage. You can visit Rydal Mount, it's in private ownership. I've not actually been in there myself. And we're just going to go into one of my favourite places in all the world, Rydal Hall. It's owned by the Diocese of Carlisle. It's a Christian retreat centre, beautiful place, and it's got the most wonderful tea room. So I'm just going to wander around there. I've filmed in Rydal quite a lot over the years, so if you're interested in Rydal, do check out my YouTube channel. Here we are at the tea rooms, right next to the river. Lovely location to stop. Before my wife and I got married, my wife actually spent 6 months working at Rydal Hall as part of the Rydal Hall community that existed at the time. So Rydal has lots of special memories for me. And when we got married, we actually had our wedding reception in the Bishop Bully Barn, which is this building behind me. So we had a ceilidh and a meal in there. And my wife, when she lived in the community, used to live in the flats which are behind me. So lots of happy memories of Rydal over the years. I've been coming here since I was about 8 years old, so I've been coming here now for, oh gosh, almost 40 years. So a long time. So just before I make my way down to Rydal Water, I just thought I'd walk through the campsite just to show you the wonderful campsite they got here at Rydal. So if you're looking for a place to stay right in the heart of the Lake District, the Rydal campsite, Rydal Hall campsite, is really great. They've got a wash block, showers and so forth. But the reason I'm going up here into the field where the campsite is just to show you the incredible display of bluebells that they've got. It really is beautiful. Look at this display of bluebells. Aren't they spectacular? If I just turn round, you can see the campsite. few tents being pitched. It's the start of the May Bank Holiday weekend, early May Bank Holiday weekend. So people coming here for the weekend. Hopefully they'll be fortunate with the weather. But it is a wonderful spot. This tree must be incredibly old. Look at the bluebells all around it. Jesse? Jesse, what's he smelling? Actually, the smell of the bluebells is really beautiful. The scent, I should say. Jesse? Hello? If you've not visited Rydal Hall before, then do check it out. It's a beautiful location and lots of lovely walks to do from Rydal Hall. And if you're looking for somewhere to stay, then also do check it out. I'll put a link in the description to this video to the Rydal Hall website, which has a lot more information that you can check out. So we're heading into our second church today. This is St Mary's. But look at these flowers, bushes. You can tell I'm not a gardener, but boy, aren't they beautiful. This is a lovely little church. We'll just have a little pop in. They do a monthly Taizé service here, I think on the first Sunday of the month, which is really lovely. If you're in the Rydal area, Ambleside area, do check that out. And that's Dora's Field, bought by William Wordsworth's sister. But before we go there, let's see if the church is open. Unfortunately not. I suspect it's because I'm a little bit late. It's 4:30, so they may have locked it, but look at that. Look. Isn't that beautiful? Let's just go and look at these bushes. This is why I love May so much. Everything just bursts into life and there's so much colour. The weather's usually really good. End of April, May, beginning of June tend to be the best months weather-wise in the Lake District and Cumbria. Although you can never guarantee the weather here. But generally speaking, it's when we have our best weather. So let's go now into Dora's Field. Again, more bluebells. Another lovely spot. Just look at this. Badger bar here. Good spot to stop for a drink and for a meal. So this is the river coming out of Rydal water, flowing down to Ambleside and then into Windermere. Now you would think this is a spotlessly clear river, but it's not, because United Utilities dump raw sewage into Grasmere, which then flows into Rydal water and then down into Windermere. And if you're like me, I suspect you'll be shocked that United Utilities could dump raw sewage into the rivers and the lakes of the Lake District National Park, into what is a World Heritage Site, but they do. And they get away with it, which is absolutely awful. And that building over there is a B&B, and that's where my wife and I spent our very first night as a married couple. Got married in Bowness and Windermere, reception in Rydal, and first night there. Not been back since our wedding, which was over 21 years ago, but maybe one day we'll visit again. So that little hill that's right in front of me on the other side of the lake is where I was standing earlier, looking down onto Rydal water and then turning around and looking to Grasmere, so you can see where I've come from. And heading back now towards Grasmere. So a bit more personal trivia. That house on the other side of Rydal water, next to the main road, was, or may still be, a language school. And after my wife and I got married, her first job was teaching English in that language school. I believe where you get bluebells growing, it's a sign that there used to be trees there, forest there. I'm sure someone will be able to confirm whether that's true or not. But certainly there would have been woods up there at one point in time. was paddleboarding here last year, so I'll put a link in the video if you're interested in watching that. Nice little lake to paddleboard on. It was actually my first time paddleboarding on Grasmere. I mentioned a little bit earlier in this video about United Utilities dumping sewage into the lakes. If you want to find out more, check out the Save Windermere campaign, savewindermere.com. Here we are coming back into the centre of Grasmere, St Oswald's Church. And if you're wondering why the tower is the colour it is, they restored it a few years ago